This is CMN. This is Canadian Mgtow. Having fun, and not giving a shit. Today's video is called, #FHRITP. By now you have probably heard of the social media firestorm touched off by a female TV reporter in Toronto, who fought back against fans who were copycatting a video meme, in which they interrupted her reporting to say, "F her right in the pussy." Go to any YouTube video about this event, and you will see the feminists out in droves, commenting on how terrible this was. They have nothing left to complain about nowadays but first world problems. Whether it be a man sitting on a bus with his legs spread apart, or growing a damn beard during Movember, it is all considered microaggressions, or some sort of assertion of male power. Rants of misogyny and white privilege are thrown around, as they publicly cheer how one of the men, who didn't even say the phrase, lost his job because of it. It just shows how privileged women are in our Canadian society. Does anyone honestly think that if the reporter was male and a female interjected live TV with a vulgar remark that she would have been fired? Why is it that women are basically allowed to tell men what they can and cannot say to them, but I never see the opposite allowed? Try telling a woman what she should and should not say, and you'll be called a control freak. Commenters on my videos sometimes criticize me for not putting my picture up, or using a computer voice. Can you blame me in such a hypersensitive country? Once you trigger these Nazis with something you say, they will stop at nothing to find out who you are, dox you, and get you fired. People that are real adults can calmly and rationally have a difference of opinion. Picture two women telling each other a joke. One gets offended, storms off, and phones the boss of the other woman, and tells them she should be fired. Sounds pretty ridiculous once the players in this mini-drama are both women, doesn't it? Now add some drunk male soccer fan and a female reporter, and it's a national event. If we are all equal as feminism proclaims, how is one situation more disastrous than the other? I think that our society has made being offended into a position of power, where if you are offended by something then you are automatically granted control of the situation or dialogue, regardless if there was a genuine cause for offense or not. People then have to listen to you, and respect your wishes, until you are no longer offended. So I think a lot of people see it in their best interests to remain as offended as they possibly can, over as many different issues as possible, for as long as possible. So in short, I think some people are decrying the fact that these guys lost their jobs over a catchphrase because they see it as another extension of this offended by everything feminist victim culture that we've become. This is what modern feminism is reduced to. There's no context to this joke, it's directed at no one, and yet it's such a huge deal. Meanwhile, women in other countries are stoned to death if they show their face in public. Beyond all of the pretentious bullshit, let's not pretend this guy really deserved to have his life seriously impeded by a moment of completely harmless juvenile behavior. Companies fire people like this not for some highly justified moral reasoning, but because they are the ultimate in conformist groupthink. They cannot even dare to appear to not swallow whichever politically correct strain of cow shit that is the current fad of society. In the case of Hydro One, it is government-owned, so it produces and eats politically correct shit. Hook, line, and sinker. I have great disdain for our mainstream media. The national broadcaster, CBC, had 3 separate stories about it in one day on their website. Absolutely no investigative reporting on their part. What's to investigate, you ask? I think that the reporter knew exactly what she was doing. If you carefully watch the video of the event, you will see how misleading it is. She deliberately provoked 2 male bystanders, after the guy who actually made the remark on live TV, had already left. The reporter turned the situation to her advantage. She has probably heard of the phrase "don't feed the trolls," and decided to give these guys a chance to double down with more vulgar braggadocio. And they did. They just reacted egoistically. This was the textbook definition of troll feeding. Some people on YouTube called her brave, but I cannot think of a more safe situation for a female than to have a male cameraman at her side, filming everything and anything that is done or said. Because she got all emotional and threw professionalism out the window, it guaranteed that this video would go viral. All cheap popularity. The owner of the TV station is happy, and some female reporter who was covering Toronto's losing soccer team is now a household name. The only thing that was missing was the Victorian fainting couch. She's interviewing drunk people next to a stadium after a soccer game, in which their team lost, and yet she is demanding respect. Female privilege, much? I would have stood up and challenged the reporter in a calm, respectful manner rather than be supportive to the other dude. I would have said something empathetic to Shauna, the female reporter, for the rudeness by the other guy, but I would have emphasized the point that they were probably raised by single mothers as well. Today's women are not doing a good job at all. Guaranteed that the footage would never see the light of day. Criticizing mothers is still taboo, on what I call not mainstream media, but womanstream media. I recall journalists being murdered for drawing offensive religious cartoons and they became heroes. Now this man is being dragged through the mud by the same type of people who claim to defend freedom of speech. Shauna explained her side on the station's morning show and they showed an edited version without the person who said FHRITP. City News shouldn't be biased and focus more on the facts and not be influenced by their staff. But news is political. I scanned their website for their coverage of my provincial government's new gender-biased sexual violence campaign. Not a single criticism of the campaign. Not even a criticism of the $41 million cost of the program, in a province whose debt is worse than California's. I don't trust mainstream media. I also don't trust the female reporter in the video. It is the job of media to keep governments accountable, and to educate, not indoctrinate. I would add, news flash. Sexual harassment and rape happen to men as well, and are severely underreported, because society laughs at the men who come out. These same reporters act like paparazzi at accidents and other catastrophes when they approach people. Where's that story? I personally hope that FHRITP continues, on the basis that it's all about making a mockery of the media who lie to us every damn day. This concludes this article. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, rate and subscribe. Thank you. This is Canadian Mgtow, signing off. Save yourself. Go Mgtow.